Hello everyone, welcome to the Flipside, the podcast for the modern nerd. My name is Naybor, and today I'm joined by Kaytonix, a lovely Twitch streamer and all-around positive personality, and I'm not just saying that because she's my wife.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking about something pretty amazing. What are we going to be talking about, Kate?
Pokemon!
That's right, what happened this week?
We got a new trailer.
We got a trailer for the Generation 8 Pokemon games, Sword and Shield. The hype is real, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about our feelings about the new game, what we're expecting, and just a little bit of speculation. So grab your Pokeballs, strap in, it's going to be a fun one. So first and foremost, I want to know, what are your thoughts about the initial lead up to the announcement of the game?
I think it was really cool what Pokemon decided to do leading up to the announcement. I think it's safe to say that if you were following the Pokemon Twitter at all, you knew something was coming. I mean, you don't just go and do a lead through of every single region for no reason, right? So
oh yeah, absolutely. And just the fact that the amount of speculation that was going on online, and everybody all over the internet was like, oh, it's gonna happen, it's gonna be the Nintendo Direct. And then the Nintendo Direct came, and
we were mad.
We were mad. And feel free to leave any comments down below about your feelings on the Nintendo Direct. I wasn't necessarily happy, neither was Kaytonix, but the Pokemon Direct definitely made up for it.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, we can talk about Nintendo in another podcast and why we're frustrated with ports and whatnot. But that's not why you're here. You're here for Pokemon.
Yes, it's a Pokemon podcast. So, but yeah, essentially, it was a really good lead up. Some good teases coming out of it. Mm-hmm. We have seen stuff like this before, where they've taken and they've kind of showed off the different regions, and then there's been nothing. So it could have been a big nothing burger, but boy, it wasn't.
I mean, especially leading up to Pokemon Day, and the fact they had a lot of Treehouse events scheduled for the week, and we're like, but why? Why, friends?
Yeah,
but why?
They actually turned those into question and answer things about Let's Go Eevee and stuff like that afterwards.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they did that, and it was like a big, like, because people were expecting afterwards, they were like, oh, they introduced the new game, so this Treehouse is going to be about the game. Maybe we'll get more footage. And then directly after the that, they changed it to Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee Q&A event.
Oh, debated, man. I didn't. So. That's why you didn't tell me about it, because it wasn't about the game.
It wasn't about the games. Not that Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee aren't good games.
Right, but when you announce something new and shiny, that's all you care about.
Right.
We need that meme. Too bad this isn't a video. We could insert the meme of, us looking to Gen 8, and then the jealous girlfriend is Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu.
I mean, I can throw this in right here. But yeah, so a really great lead up. I know, I'm really excited about some of the mechanics that we might see in the game. So like, what mechanics are you hoping to see in the game? Like, anything in particular from past generations, past games that you want to see brought over to this one?
I think it'd be really fun to make Pathans again.
Pathans were fun.
I think that was so much fun. That's one thing. I really get wrapped up in the side games, or the side mini games, as I do in every game I've ever played. But I just really like the little cutesy things. I know that's probably stereotypical of me, but like, I loved the contest. And is that what it was called?
Yeah, the Pokemon contest. It was, believe. And they've had that in a couple generations, different iterations of it.
Yeah, definitely. I like stuff like that. So I think it'd be really cool to see some of that come back, as well as maybe I would like to also see playing with the Pokemon be a continued thing, being able to care for them after battle, because it just creates a deeper personal level for me with my Pokemon. Like, I feel like I actually have to take care of them instead of them just being pixels on a screen. Right. But I would like to see some new stuff too. I mean, Pokemon has been around for forever, and I do think it's time that they add new mechanics in to keep it fresh and new. Don't go changing the entire formula, but do a little bit of a new and improved.
Don't do what you did so much with Sun and Moon.
Exactly.
Not that Sun and Moon are terrible games, but My gosh, the cutscenes.
Cutscene City. That's my biggest complaint, and why I've honestly not finished the game is because it's different, right? When you're sitting on a couch, and I mean, maybe it'll be different than with Janae since it's on the Switch and you could technically play it on your TV. But like, I don't mind sitting through games that I'm playing on console, like on a big screen, sitting through cutscenes. But like, if I'm playing a handheld game, I'm usually out and about, or, you know, I'm not like fully focused on the handheld part of the game.
Absolutely.
So I can't sit there and wait.
Right, absolutely. And so change it up just a little bit. Give us some new mechanics. Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, some of the speculation is that there may possibly be a new mechanic called Armored Evolution.
Yes.
I feel like they're jipping that from Digimon. Yes,
which I know we talked about this a little bit as soon as the trailer launched, and it was so funny because as soon as little Score Bunny popped up on the screen, I was like, that looks like a Digimon. You know, I was like, wait a minute. And I guess it was just also seeing the sprites, seeing them like a fully 3D animated character was strange for me. Yeah. It didn't look, all of them, in my opinion, don't look as much like Pokemon as past starters. Seeing, you know, the flat 2D drawings, they did look more like your typical Pokemon, but I was a little taken back at first. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, the 3D renders were a little bit off-putting. Although, we'll talk about this part a little bit later. I have another question, but yeah, I agree with you. I was a little taken aback by the renders of the new sprites, and I definitely don't think that's how the sprites are going to look. I've seen a side-by-side comparison of Pikachu from Let's Go Pikachu and Pikachu from the Sword and Shield trailer, mm-hmm. and I like what they've done. They've kept it's the same model, but they've really enhanced the cartooniness of the sprite and added some shadows to it, so it looks really good. I'm looking forward to how it's going to be.
Definitely.
So you were talking about the starters, which all of them are amazing. Mm-hmm. So initially, based on the design alone, because I know both of us will probably change it back and forth depending on the second evolution and the final evolution as mm-hmm. well. But on the design alone, what starter are you looking at choosing, and why is it Grookey?
It is not Grookey.
Grookey gang for life.
No. I don't know. I personally am like, I don't know what it is, but I've never liked any monkey Pokemon. And I think it was really ruined for me with Pansear, Pansage line. I don't know. They just really annoyed me. I've never really liked monkey Pokemon. I don't know why. Maybe it's, you know, going back to Mankey and his hat stealing ways. I was just like, that's a bad monkey.
But Apom, though.
No, I don't like Apom either.
Really?
No, I don't like any monkey Pokemon.
Okay. Chimchar's cute, though.
I don't like Chimchar either.
Okay. Well, we're going to have some more discussions offline because, okay, I don't like Chimchar. I don't, because in that generation, you know me, it's Trico, Lord. Turtwig.
Yeah.
Because Torterra is the best starter from that generation. Another time, another
podcast. But I really, of course, as soon as I saw it, I mean, I squeed a little bit with Score Bunny. If it's typing is firefighting, though, I will not go for it on principle because we've had way too many fighting starters. And Sobble, I really thought Sobble was cute. Again, I have to kind of see like where they go from here. Because it's all about the final Evo for me. Because when Sun and Moon dropped, I was in love with Linton because I have a thing for cats. Mm-hmm. You know this. Oh, yeah. I have a problem. But then I saw Incineroar and I was like, yeah, no, not for me.
Well, we do know that whatever Score Bunny ends up becoming, it's going to be bipedal. So yes. There's not been, to my knowledge, there's not been a quadrupedal fire starter far, and it's fine. I would be personally okay with firefighting type. I think we've had a good break in it. I
think we had one, right?
No, we had Delphox.
Oh yeah.
We also had Incineroar. And that's
two. A big two.
And I chose Incineroar because of its typing, because whenever it first came out, I was all for Rowlet, mm-hmm. which I do like. And if I go strictly on design, I would go with Decidueye because of its design. But Incineroar's typing is great. I love the darkness typing and everything. With that being said, what secondary typings would you want to see out of these starters? I know what I'm wanting, but I'd like to hear your feedback out of it.
I think it would be really cool to see, and it's funny because I didn't think about this typing until one of our friends at GameStop mentioned it, but it would be really cool to see like a fire fairy.
Yeah.
Like, and just thinking about its design, like it might, I don't know, like it would just be really cute, I think, to see like a fire fairy typing for Scorbunny. As far as Sobble, I don't know.
I think like the whole internet is basically wanting it to be ghost type.
Right, and I get that because, you know, we have talked, and we can reiterate here for everyone who's listening, about what clues that may have been in the trailer regarding their secondary typing, but I don't know if ghost type makes sense for him. Yes, he was invisible, but, you know, there are other things that it could be, like maybe water psychic.
Ooh.
Water psychic would make a lot more sense, I think, than ghost, because he obviously has a very physical form. Right. Not that ghost Pokemon don't usually, but I think like psychic makes more sense. And as far as Grookey,
I mean, again, there's been a lot of speculation with, you know, Scorbunny being part metal type and the ghost typing for Sobble, but Grookey with the rock type. There really isn't much I could think of other than maybe a fighting type, especially since he's carrying around the little stick. But the thing is, the stick isn't part of his sprite. He just would happen to be banging on a rock.
I mean, that would be kind of cool, though, to see like a grass fighting.
Yeah, there's not that many out there.
No.
So I think the only grass fighting Pokemon are like Chestnut, which it's been done, but it'd be fine. I'd be fine with it. And then there's, you know, the legendary swordsman Virizion and Breloom, but there's not really a lot.
No, and I think that would be really cool. I can't think of another typing that would be neat for
I mean, of course, rock would be cool, but
yeah, but I don't really. I've only had one grass starter ever, and so I usually don't pay attention to the grass starters at all.
Right, and that was Chikorita, correct?
Yes.
We've had that discussion.
And then I found Totodile, and my life's never been the same.
Right, and no one likes Meganium.
No.
I've triggered someone. Well, yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it with that. I think we'll know sooner than later. I definitely think Korokoro is going to give us some sort of
definitely
insight into it. Look for that around the 14th of March. That should be about when I think it would release. But since we're talking about that, are there any specific new Pokemon that you'd like to see included with the game? Like, for instance, for me, and I know a couple of our friends would be interested to see like a Peacock Pokemon. I would like for them to do a new take on a shark type Pokemon, because Sharpedo's great, but I feel like they could do it more justice.
Well, for me, there is only one thing that I want out of any Pokemon game, and that is a new evolution, because Eevee is my absolute favorite Pokemon, and I'm always excited to see if we're gonna have a new one included. Since we didn't get one with Sun and Moon, I'm really hoping that we'll have at least one evolution in this game.
And I mean, there's a possibility for that, because the last evolutions have been all the new evolutions since Generation 1 have come in an even generation. Generation 2 brought us Umbreon and Espeon. Generation 4 Glaceon and Leafeon. And then we got Sylveon, the best Evian. we got him in the X and Y era.
Right.
So and we discussed earlier some of the types we would like to see for a new evolution.
Oh, yeah. I think, especially with the names of the game, Sword and Shield, I think we could see like a fighting evolution, which would be really cool.
And it needs to be named Champ Eon.
If not, Pokemon, what are you doing with your life? I also would really, I would love to see, even though it would be really sad and have a horrible Pokedex injury, but I'd love to see a Ghost type Eevee because I do love Ghost Pokemon. I know we've always talked about a flying evolution would be really cool. There's just so many things they could do with an evolution, and I really hope that we get to see at least one.
Well, and I think you said it pretty well with it being sword and shield. We could also see a metal type evolution.
A metal type would be cool. Ooh, what if it had like a little suit of armor on with those little ears sticking out? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. That's what the speculation portion of this is.
Well, and with the armor, where we were talking about possibly having armor evolutions, then it would literally, oh my god, a little Eevee in an armor suit. Oh, fudge, that's cute.
What the fudge? I'm hoping we get it. I love having new evolutions. I just hate that we can't have them all in one party. And I don't think this will be the only podcast. Like, whenever we have new information about this, I'd love to sit down with you and some other people. But let's talk about the initial reaction to the trailer. I know I tried to record my reaction, but YouTube took it down because I left too much Pokemon content in there. But I literally was crying. I literally cried whenever they introduced it all. I was expecting a Generation 8, especially whenever they announced it at Pokemon Direct. I was expecting that, but I was definitely not expecting for it to be as beautiful as the trailer was.
Oh, yeah. Well, the story with me in the trailer is kind of funny because I was able to catch the very, tail end of the trailer as I was walking into work for the day. I literally saw Grookey on top of the smokestack, or the little metal tubes he was on, and then I saw the names for the game, and that's all I saw until 4 hours later. So it was killing me because I wanted to see what everything looked like. So I got to watch it on my lunch break, and I was floored just with the scenery. And of course I know that it's not final game footage, some of it wasn't, but It was absolutely beautiful, and I am so excited to see Pokemon realizing its true potential with this new platform. I really think that it's so cool, especially other games, seeing how far The Legend of Zelda has come with its graphics. Breath of the Wild is beautiful, and seeing these games that I love and I've loved for my entire life go from tiny little short, fat pixel sprites. I mean, because they were fat, all the way to this full-blown, stunning world is really, really, really cool.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to see, and of course I can't be satisfied with just what we have now. I'm thinking, what's next? What are they going to do next? Are we going to have Pokemon VR one day? Gosh.
Guys, I will quit my job. We will become a 100% 24/7 Pokemon VR streamer. You could
I will live in the
shameless plug
world.
Neighbor Games. You can find me. You can find me on Twitch. I will be there just live all the time. I don't need food. We'll just hook an IV up to me.
There you go. I'm really excited, and just looking at the region itself, the Galar region is absolutely beautiful. It is, and I caught on very, very quickly that it was based on a European setting. I love the clothes. Can we talk about the freaking clothes for a second? They are the best dressed starter characters that we've had, and I mean, honestly, it's
I liked it's been a while because I liked the Generation 4 sprites, Dawn and I want to say it's Ethan. I may be wrong. Don't at me.
But no, I really loved it. I mean, the male character Sokka, yes, that was so cute, and it had a lot of cozy vibes to it, and it just seems like it's gonna be a really good game to just sink into and escape and relax.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I want to point out also with his outfit in particular, the backpack that he wore looked like something you would wear if you were going to travel, which is really cool. We aren't seeing 10-year-olds walking around with backpacks there's there's the possibility of a chance of having character customization that is cohesive throughout the game, not just every so often, and that you could do it anywhere. It's cozy. I love the vibe of the game. I'm blown away. I'm speechless. There's so much more I want to know.
Definitely. I mean, speaking of things I want to know, how about that freaking stadium that's in the trailer? Like, I want to know what's that about, because like it seemed to be like a very heavy focus on that for the trailer. I mean, it gave it a lot of screen time, and so it's obviously going to be probably one of the new mechanics that they're going to introduce. But I don't know like what it would be or why. I know you mentioned you thought it might be that this game will focus more on a competitive side,
right?
Which would be cool. I know with Pokemon Worlds, a lot of people were very frustrated that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were going to be
they got
the games
2 years in a row,
right? And so maybe Pokemon's like going to try to make it up to him and be like, okay, we're going to make the competitive in this game really good.
Well, and now that you mentioned that, now that I'm thinking about that, with Pokemon Worlds this year, it's in August. The game most likely will not release. My earliest bet would be November.
That's what I'm thinking too.
They're not going to be able to have Sword and Shield as the main title games. No. And I don't think so. I mean, there's a chance maybe we may see an earlier release. I don't know. I do think that it has something to do with competitive. I've seen speculation that people think that it might possibly be a new gym mechanic. But I honestly think that Pokemon realizes how big the competitive scene is with their games. We went to Pokemon World in 2018, and it was one of the most amazing events. There were thousands of people there for Pokemon. The TCG and everything, which that's going to be a whole nother thing when they start releasing all the TCG products for this. I'm going to be all over it.
Right.
So yeah, that's why I think it really is something that has to do with possibility of competitive and being really honed in on that. One last thing, when we were watching the trailer, and you probably noticed, Mr. Ishihara, he mentioned that we would see a few new things from the Pokemon brand this year. Just completely pulling speculation out of the air. What do you think? I think maybe we might see some spin-off games like we used to have the Mystery Dungeon and stuff like that. What would you think?
I do think, and I know we've talked about this previously, I think we'll see another Let's Go title. I think we'll have...
this year?
Not this year, I mean, but they may still announce it.
That's true.
You know, I think that's something they'll be working on. I think what Pokemon's trying to do is come up with anything new that can kind of continue their brand. You know, as far as what that is, I'm not really sure, because they've been around for so long, they've done so much. You know, what else can you do? I mean, absolutely. Because I mean, seriously, if Pokemon's sitting there saying so many new things, it's like that could literally be anything.
It could. And I know like the first 2 days after the trailer, everyone was like, Diamond and Pearl remix confirmed, and I'm like, guys, they just announced the 8th generation of games. I could see, I know Pokemon wants to do what Zelda is doing and release a game every year so that it has something new, it has something running. So I could see, as you said, we have talked about the possibility of having a Let's Go Johto being announced sometime.
Which I love.
Oh yeah, Pokemon Silver right now is probably my favorite game. May change after Sword and Shield, but I think they could release a Let's Go Johto, but they would then need to hold off on the Let's Go titles for a while, because there was a lot of division with the Pokemon fandom. I think they may have won them back with this. I don't know.
The thing is, for me, with salty Pokemon fans, and like, sorry if I ruffle any feathers, but you have to think of it from a business standpoint, is that Pokemon needed to capitalize on all of the younger generations who were playing, you know, Pokemon Go. They had to do something to bring them and bridge them into the console gaming, because a small kid, like, I mean, we've seen it with your brother, like, he got so frustrated with playing Pokemon that he literally smashed his DS. He ripped the DS in half, like.
Yes, he got my brother got angry and literally folded the DS the wrong way.
Yeah, just snapped it in half. So they had to do...
Just to follow up on that whole thing, we have tested, he is not the Hulk.
But yeah, they needed to do something to kind of bridge the two worlds. And like, I understand, and I enjoyed what I got to play of Let's Go. And it is nice to have kind of a casual Pokemon experience. And, Pokemon had to think about their longevity and the next generation because y'all were getting old.
Exactly. And it's with Sword and Shield, it shows that they are not afraid to still make games that their main fan base are wanting. If you also looked at the new trainer sprites, they looked older.
Yes.
They don't look like 10-year-olds anymore. So it's just showing that the games are growing with us as well. We're getting these expansive, beautiful regions. The Galar region is probably, in my opinion right now, the most beautiful region I've seen.
Agreed.
Again, we have to go back on graphics, but looking at what they did with Let's Go, the Kanto region's pretty, and I would love to see them do it with all the other, because I know it's going to look great, but there's something that sparkled in this one, and it wasn't just that mine shaft. I'm really, really excited. I do think that we're going to see, when they say late 2019, it's going to be holiday release. I'm hoping that we get a bundle, because we might need an extra Switch, because I don't know if we could share.
Yeah.
But for now, I think that's all the speculation that we've kind of got. We know that's what we have to go off of. We only have a 2-minute trailer to go off of. I'm really excited to explore this a little bit more, and I hope you'll come back and be you're probably going to be a guest on here more than often.
I live here,
you live here.
I have easy access.
so great for you to stop by. I hope you didn't go too far out of your way. But anyway, guys, as we're wrapping here, Kaytonix, where can people find you at?
I am at Kaytonix on Twitch. I am at twitch.tv/Kaytonix. And on Instagram, I am Kaytonix.tv.
And just for a quick one, you can always do Kaytonix.live.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
But anyway, guys, so that's going to do it for this time. This was the first podcast that we've done for this. If you like this, if you're on YouTube, leave it a like. If you're on any of the other social platforms that this might be on, let me know what you think. I'm looking to release these possibly twice monthly. We'll try to do that. We're going to have different topics between nerdy stuff and deep stuff. So stick around. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Catch you on the flip side.